It looks to me like Charlie Kirk's murder was committed by traitors within the CIA and FBI.
You're going to want to watch this video all the way to the end, okay? Because there's a lot of information and it's going all the way to the end. Oh, and for the regular viewers or fans of our Play With Matches channel, we've got a special treat for you in the last few minutes of this video if you hang out. As these things tend to happen with my videos, sometimes I uncover things as I'm doing the video. Talking really helps me clarify my thoughts. So we're going to start this video right here, and you make sure that you watch this entire video, because check this out real quick, okay? Because we're going to come back to this, okay? This is on JD DeLay's channel, and he is talking to a former Antifa member, okay? Listen to this very closely.
You may have been a drifter, but can you clarify this for us? As somebody who was in Antifa, is it a actual organization?
100,000%. Don't let anybody fool you otherwise.
And they have like a hierarchy and a leadership structure. What is that like?
Well, the way I classify the two classes of Antifa, at least street level, you have the devotees and you have the wannabes. The devotees are people like me, people who are really in it for the Civil War aspect. We knew damn well we were playing in Civil War territory. We wanted to fight. We wanted to take out our political enemies. We wanted to take out all our rage. We were willing to do what the little trans kids on the college campus wouldn't, right? They're the wannabes, the furries, the one coming out in the dinosaur suits, you know, all of which is made to make it look light and fluffy, while people like me were behind the scenes. I would walk around with a machete half the size of my fucking leg. I called it my self-defense machete. It's fucking pathetic. But so the devotees kind of use the wannabe class as human shield. So a lot of the time the wannabes would get taken out first because they want to be virtuous. They want to be there with their cameras at the front. And then, holy shit, here come the rubber bullets.
You guys remember this guy? Obviously, we've been talking about him a lot. Certainly, in my opinion, the most suspicious person in this entire story, you know. And I honestly, I've talked about him so much, I don't even think we need to even recap what his story is. But we got a big development on this guy, okay? I found him. As a matter of fact, one of my viewers found him and sent it to me. And we're going to get a lot more insight on this guy today. And when we do talk about that guy, you're going to need to remember this clip over here that we just watched, because it's important. We've also got some insight on Phil Lyman, okay? Phil Lyman got real upset about what I said about his reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder, you know, on the thing. And he said that we're insane on X. He literally responded to the video. So I'm going to show you what he said, and then I'm going to show you a response, and we'll take a look at the validity of what he said, so on and so forth, etc. Okay. But what I want to start with is I want to show you guys something from this video that was put up 10 hours ago by Wolves in Finance, because the backdrop. So he's saying, as a matter of fact, I'll let him introduce it. Okay. And explain himself. And then I'm going to show you the section that he has new findings, because they tie in directly to what I found about David, the cheering guy. So we're going to get into that right this second. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. I appreciate you guys, and let's rock.
Last week, I made a video about the facts surrounding Charlie Kirk's murder. In this video, I wanted to share with you my theory on what actually happened. So if you missed last week's episode, go check it out. I wanted to separate out the facts in that video from this video, which is my working theory. But watch this video all the way through, because I have uncovered some new information that will back it up.
Okay, so I'm going to summarize real quick. He said that people who have not subscribed to my channel and like this video are probably complicit or in on the whole thing. So to, you know, make sure that you don't get tied up in a big conspiracy sweep, you should probably do both of those things. I'm just kidding. His working theory, though, is that Charlie Kirk is a casualty of a war between Trump and the deep state. And his working theory essentially is that the CIA is behind it, intelligence agencies are behind it, and he shows a bunch of stuff from the Butler situation. And anyway. But that is his working theory, like high level. Okay, so as we get into the end, and he has a lot of stuff, you know, kind of explaining his position, so you should watch it. But here's the new info and why, and then I'll explain why this ties into David and Phil Lyman. Okay, so check this out, all right?
Now, here is some new information. A YouTuber named Baron Coleman has been reviewing information on Google Trends.
George Hodgson Zinn, that's the full name of the guy that they first arrested, you remember, this is the old guy who stands up within seconds of Charlie Kirk being assassinated. I did it. I shot him. And then as they're dragging him away, his pants fall down. He's like, shoot me. That's George Hodgson Zinn. And he was searched, or this term was searched, according to Google, with an IP address originating in the District of Columbia on July 21, 2025. And again, I tell you, keep the anchor date around July 20 in your mind tonight.
At the Charlie Kirk shooting, the name of the man who was first arrested, George Zinn, was Google searched in Washington, D.C. within days after the Trump administration recommended criminal charges against John Brennan and James Comey. I showed you part of a 2-hour live stream where he shows name after name after name of people involved in the Charlie Kirk shooting that someone was searching for in the days surrounding the press conference by Tulsi Gabbard. This list of search terms includes the hospital they took Charlie Kirk, Timpanogos Regional Hospital, the name of the medical examiner, Deirdre Amaro, the commissioner of the Utah Department of Public Safety, Bo Mason, the tail number of a plane that was circling over the site of the rally, N1098 Lima, and both the old FBI special agent who used to be in charge in Salt Lake City, Mehteb Saeed, and the new special agent who was put in place right before the assassination, Robert Bowles. These are not random searches. They all occur within this short time period. But here is the craziest one. The person who was asking Charlie Kirk the question about transgender shooters at the moment he was killed was someone named Hunter Kak. Someone Google searched the name Hunter Kak days after Tulsi Gabbard's press conference. I refuse to believe that is a coincidence. On September 10th, 2025.
Let me just pause it right there real quick. And, oh, man, it's just one of those moments. It's like, do you want to, I don't know, when you call something, and you kind of scream it from the rooftops and a lot of people see it, and then things start to develop around that thing around you. It's kind of like, God, that just feels good, Just feels good. Although he pretty much telegraphed it. That's a joke, by the way, you guys. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I called it. Like, wow, it's really hard to land on Hunter Kak. It's like, who's Hunter Kak? They're like, well, he's this guy who, he follows Charlie Kirk around to all of his events, and he does nothing but talk about how much he hates Charlie Kirk and how Charlie Kirk is radicalizing America's youth, and how if Charlie Kirk just wasn't there anymore, the country would be much better off. You're all, gosh. And you're saying that guy asked the final question, which had to do with transgender shootings before a transgender shooter shot him? Well, not necessarily a transgender shooter. Are we getting into semantics? Well, no. I mean, yeah, pretty much what you said is right. Okay, so shouldn't have been super, should have been real hard. And then wait a minute. That same guy, his dad works for the late night television show that went onto the stage and pretended that the people who were responsible for the shooting was the exact opposite of who was responsible, thus throwing suspicion in the opposite direction of his son. I mean, listen, dude. Jesse, how did you come up with such a genius take? Pretty much right there, dude. Pretty much right there. You know what I mean? But apparently, they're searching his name in D.C. And what does that tell you now, guys? What does that tell you? Okay, because I'm going to be clear. But, listen, dude. Again, for the thousands, I have no idea what happened here, okay? I do think I know whether Phil Lyman was involved. Or at the very least, I have a big clarifying piece of information about Phil Lyman that we're going to talk about later. But, I'm still not saying I have any idea what's going on. I will say that I'll propose all these different options. And in this one, this is the first time that I'm proposing, dude, you might actually have intelligence people behind this. And in the United States, if these Google searches are real, right? And honestly, I had my girl check some of them, and they were, okay? Not Gabrielle girl that works for me. She checked some of the Google searches? And at first she thought they were fake, and then we changed the search criteria, and she found them. They're not fake. They're there. Okay. Now, when you consider that, and it's all coming from DC, a couple months before the event happens, like that is an indicative, that's indicative of what? And the fact that they search Hunter Kak would also be indicative of what? Okay. Maybe Hunter Kak is a useful idiot that they are putting suspicion on to move suspicion away from themselves. Maybe, you know what I mean? Because why would they be searching him? So they can call him and be all, hey, I mean, it's possible. It is absolutely possible. They're like, hey, would you like to be involved in a deep state operation to murder Charlie Kirk? He's like, fuck yes. How can I help America? They're all by being a patsy that we frame so the conspiracy theorists have something to go after and they don't think about it being us. But what we'll say to you is we just need a hero like you because we want someone to ask a really distracting question so Charlie won't see the bullet coming from the roof or whatever idiotic thing that he would have said yes to. You know what I mean? Anyway, you'll understand what I'm saying when we get to the David part, though, okay?
Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I think you have to put this in context of the ongoing battle between Donald Trump and the deep state. They tried to assassinate Trump and failed, so they killed one of his lieutenants instead. I think Charlie Kirk was killed as a message. If Trump attacks one of their people, they're going to take out one of Trump's.
I mean, listen, dude. That, to me, makes at least as much sense as Israel did him in because he was like going to talk about whatever he wanted or he was going to have Tucker. Listen, if you're telling me that they assassinated him because he was going to have Tucker Carlson at his events, I'm sorry. No. Like that, I'm not buying. There has to be more to it, dude. Okay, they're just like, oh, they didn't want him to have Tucker Carlson on stage. It's like, why wouldn't they just kill Tucker Carlson then? You know what I mean? Like, if they want to get to someone, why not Tucker? He does a lot of events also. That would make much more sense. But nonetheless, maybe there's more to it.
Later that month, on September 25th, 2025, Trump's Department of Justice indicted James Comey for making a false statement to Congress and obstruction of a congressional proceeding for his testimony about the Russian collusion hoax. Now, I know that some of you are going to say that I am just a conspiracy theorist, and I'm piecing together all these different events that are not connected. But just wait until you hear this. New information was just uncovered by an account on TikTok called Laissez-Faire Lounge. She shows that a professor's profile at Utah Valley University has been removed the month following Charlie Kirk's assassination.
There was a CIA professor at Utah Valley University, Rusty Needs. He was with the CNSS. I saw his bio, his photo, just a few days ago, like 2 days ago. I took this picture from the website. I got his bio, everything, and he has now disappeared. I can't find it anywhere online. If anyone can find it, please let me know. I did have this, which is still on the Facebook page. Anyway, where is Rusty Needs? Hashtag where is Rusty Needs? The CIA agent that works at Utah Valley University. Why has he gone ghost online?
Not only that, 6 staff members at the university related to the CIA have been removed from the website.
Okay, so I used AI to search the Wayback Machine, and here are the dates and removals. So his profile was fully accessible on September 24th, 2025, but taken down between September 24th and September 26th. He looks to be the first taken down, followed by 6 others, also in the CNSS spy school or tied to Canvas Security. These include Dr. Elena Vasquez, National Security Policy Whiz, Professor Mark Harlan, Counterintelligence Ethics Expert, Sarah Klein, Event Logistics Liaison, Jamal Reed, Track Coach with Security Ties, T. Ramirez, Intelligence Simulations Analyst, and L. Patel, Event Planning Coordinator.
Why is it that all these CIA people were working at the university and they have all suddenly disappeared? It looks to me like Charlie Kirk's murder was committed by traitors within the CIA and FBI. It looks like there's a small group of people in the intelligence community who are trying to overthrow the US government.
Yeah, so I finished that video and then realized I had forgotten the overthrow the US government segment. And we're on our way to a haunted house, so I'm like, I don't think I can just add that in without putting some commentary to it. Gabrielle, we're going to a haunted house. Hey, what other channel's gonna do it like this, you guys? But, yeah, so now we're going to move on to the other segment of this video where we're going to talk about the Antifa angle and buckle in for that as well. Let me show you what I found about David, okay? So remember this guy? This dude, right? So one of my viewers sent me this last night, Okay. This guy had deleted his profile, okay, after the thing. And now he's back on. Not really sure why. Maybe he decided deleting his profile was, more suspicious than putting it up. But check this out, okay? You want to see something absolutely mind-blowing? First of all, okay, he joined December of 2024. That we're going to come back to, okay? So just put that in the back of your brain for a second, okay? Look at this post that he puts up, okay? I apologize. This is long, but we're going to read a little bit of it, and then we're going to get back to, some other stuff because some other people found some stuff about him as well. Okay, check this out. Learn this, that an oath breaker is greater than a liar. So trust is better than belief. Liar. L-I-E-R. And then over here, he says liar. And you're like, okay, and he misspells liar and liar like over and over and over. Okay, this is code. This is a message that he's sending out to people somehow. But look, learn this, comma, comma. Okay, that, asterisk. An oath breaker is greater than a liar, asterisk. Or semicolon, I'm sorry. Jesus, Jesse, you don't know the difference between an asterisk and a semicolon? So trust is better than belief, period. Okay? Exactly. That's the paradox nested inside of your statement. Let's explore it slowly. A liar with, stars on both sides, whatever you go, denies truth, but may never have promised anything. An oath breaker, stars, once embraced truth, then betrayed it. A person can be neither star, if they keep their word and speak truth. One, star. Okay, like, look, this is a fucking message, okay? Like, this is him writing a coded message. This dude is Antifa, okay? This dude is Antifa. Okay? This is like high-level Antifa shit. And this dude is writing some kind of thing. Now, even still, okay, when you go through here and then so the structure you're pointing to implies a star spectrum of integrity, not a binary. And then here, if we phrase it in your style, you have, this, whatever, I don't even know what you even called this thing. A liar rejects truth, semicolon. This thing over here, and then this big long dash. Then this, okay, comma. I'm telling you right now, all of these weird symbols are a code that indicate how many letters to the right or something like that. It'll be something weird like that. It'll be like, for when there's a 2 star, that means that, the third letter to the right is the letter that actually matters, And then if it's this thing right here, it's like 5 letters to the right. So every time that there is some weird kind of thing, 2 apostrophes means 1 to, or 2 to the left. Okay, that way all they have to remember is 10 different things, right? This is a big, this is how these codes work. Okay, so if you remember, right, semicolon equals what? Think you're training your little. Remember, my soldiers. Okay, I'm sick of my soldiers dying. Okay, well, when you're training your soldiers, this is something simple. You got to keep in mind, these Antifa people are not fucking geniuses. They're drunk, drugged out retards in most cases. You know what I mean? So you can't have a super complicated code thing here. It needs to be something they can all remember. Have you guys seen The Wire? Okay, in season 1, the way that they broke the code, because they would when they would page each other, right? It was always in these random codes, and the guy that broke the code was dude, it's a bunch of fucking street corner druggies, or drug dealers. He's how complicated could the fucking code be? And he figured out all it was you just jump the 0. So if it's a 7, right, or a 9, then that means it's a 1, right? If it's a 7, that means it's a 3. And you just jump the 0 every time. And that's the fucking code. Or jump the 5 or whatever. So think about that here. Okay, how many different things do you have here? Okay, look. So you got 1, 3 number signs, 3 dashes, okay? 2 stars, 1 of these. Okay, for each of those, there is a different answer for how many letters over or under or whatever. And then so you just pull 1 letter for each of those. And so if you count up how many of those there are, I guarantee you're going to figure out that this represents, this whole fucking ridiculous long thing represents a sentence that's like, like a regular sized sentence that's like, I'm in whatever, everyone keep quiet, blah, 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 whatever. That's what this is. So I realize I've essentially proposed two different theories in the same video. One is, I'm not really necessarily promoting either, right? Well, I take that back, actually. The one about the deep state is a complete theory that definitely it's thin, dude. You know what I mean? If we're being honest, like, that's pretty thin, right? It's like there's some Google searches from DC. That's essentially what you got there. Doesn't mean it's not true. These guys are this is what these people do. Create lone shooter situations, clandestine, yada, 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 right? But on the other side, it being Antifa, right? Okay, we just established Antifa 100% is a real organization, and those guys are for real. They are the ones who are trying to promote civil war. They believe that they are in a civil war, and the real guys hang behind the front people. Like, the real militants hang behind the front people. And David, okay, clearly appears to be a leader of some kind of that organization, and he is putting ciphers on his X account, okay? Like, that's what that is, right? So I don't really know what, who knows? I don't know how those things connect, but what I will tell you is that remember when he said, remember when the Antifa guy said this?
So the devotees kind of use the wannabe class as human shield. So a lot of the time the wannabes would get taken out first.
Which brings us back to Hunter Kak, right? Hunter Kak, who asked the final question. Does he seem like a devotee who wants to start a civil war? Does he seem like a useful idiot to them that maybe they put out front to eat the rubber bullets? You know what I mean? Like, Hunter Kak, maybe he's all the way in with these guys. Maybe he's all the way in. Maybe the deep state's working with Antifa. Who knows, dude? But the fact that he said that they are intentionally organized in a way where they have these out front people who take the brunt of the suspicion and all that, and then they've got the real devotees behind. Hunter Kak is already out there. He's doing the Charlie Kirk thing. Maybe they use him as a human shield. Maybe he is actually a devotee. Who knows? Okay. But also, maybe the trans boyfriend is a devotee. They had all of these shady ass guys coming to their apartment and all that stuff. Who knows, dude? You know what I mean? Because that kid's now disappeared. Maybe he's gone deep cover with these dudes, or maybe he got killed. Who knows? You know what I mean? So that is, we're going to keep an eye on that. And I think someone needs to very seriously take a hard look at that cipher that he put together. Someone who knows how to break these things. You know what I mean? Okay, now I want to show you guys Phil Lyman as well. Okay, so check this out. So Phil Lyman commented on this video. So Project Constitution on X, go give him a follow. He posted this clip from my video right here of the part of Phil Lyman where he smiles and laughs. Okay, and Phil Lyman actually commented. He said, "You're such a poser. The real question is, what are you trying to cover up? This is ridiculous. Anyone could edit video, and that is what you have here. You are sick. Get some help. Seriously." Project Constitution says, "I got nothing to hide, my friend." And Phil Lyman responds, "Nor do I. What's your name?" Okay, now check this out. Okay, so a buddy of mine sent this to me, and I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, so let's watch the full clip of the Phil Lyman thing that I shared, where he's laughing. Because listen, dude, that clip on his own, fucking weird, for sure. Like, he knows Charlie Kirk, some get murdered. Like, why? He's all, no. Right? But watch this, okay? Watch the full clip.
Hi guys, Dad. We are outside the Student Life and Law Center.
Yeah, we're gonna take off, but
There's people running again? Are you sure? They escorted us this way.
Heard that from some of the kids who were right there.
Always running. There are a bunch of cops.
Yes, the cops are showing up.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cops are showing up. Are you sure people are running?
Yeah, they're escorting, pushing everybody out. These things popping out. He's dead. Did you guys see what happened? How are you? Did you see what happened, Phil?
First of all, okay, he said right there that he did not see what happened. Like, if you guys were listening close to that, if you turn it up, if you couldn't hear that, he said he heard from some guys that he got shot in the neck. Or, I mean, at least that's what he's saying to this kid. Okay, so that's one kind of takeaway. When he's not like realizing he's on camera, he's saying that people told him that he was shot in the neck.
No.
Oh, sorry, let me go back.
Yeah, they're escorting, pushing everybody out. News space popping out. He's dead. Did you guys see what happened? How are you? Did you see what happened, Phil? No. I was pretty.
I talked to right.
Well, I gotta go find someone.
Yeah.
I'm good to go walk out.
Yeah. The cops might tell you talking to the go the other way than follow us.
I got my vote.
You definitely have my vote too. Thank you so much.
Apparently, it is an actual war that we're fighting.
Yes, it is.
Good.
Can I get a picture with you? My boyfriend will be jealous.
Do you want to say hi?
I do follow you, and I wrote you in.
He's right here.
With your last name.
Thank you.
So it's still a little bit weird, but clearly, like, what his, why he was kind of like smiling is he's saying like, I'm not going to talk about it on camera. I think is what his reaction was to that.
With your last name. So it was that. Yeah. I'm absolutely following that. So
Hi.
yes, thank you.
Hey, how are
We
you?
wrote you in. She's a fan.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Meet you under better circumstances, Phil. Yeah, I'd be glad to talk to you about what I do know. Okay.
Yeah. So I think Phil's cleared, dude. So if I exacerbated any suspicion on him, I think I take it back and I apologize. Like, I mean, who knows? What the fuck? Like, maybe he's involved. I don't know. Like, I just say that about everybody. But like, that clip was a lot less weird when you see the entire thing with context, which is like, he's sitting there like somberly talking about it with some kid, and then the guy comes up, he's like, hey, did you see it? And he's like, no. And then he kind of smiles because he's like, I am trying to decide whether or not I'm going to say something here or talk about it. Who knows? But listen, if we take suspicion off Phil Lyman, we can certainly point it heavily in the direction of more Antifa people, and Antifa being way more dangerous than people are recognizing. You know what I mean? So, again, I mean, who knows? More information comes out about Phil, but I mean, that clip I think is less shady when you see the full thing than it was originally. But anyway, that's what I got for today. Go ahead, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. Bye-bye. All right, so it's special treat time. We are in our car on the way to a haunted house that we're going to for reasons that are related to our daughter going to said haunted house with boys, downtown Austin, whatever.
the whole thing.
The end of this was going to be her spending the night at her friend's house. I can't tell you how much she fucking badgered us about this weekend. Absolutely relentless, dude. So today she's like, hey, so turns out that I'm just going to be spending the night at her house with just my other friend because she can only have 2 people over because her 16-year-old brother is having a bunch of his friends spend the night. And we're like, I literally was like, you think you're spending the night at a fucking house that has an entire party of 16-year-old boys spending the night? Are you out of your fucking mind? Right. I was like, there is a better chance of you fucking waking up in Antarctica tomorrow than spending the night at that fucking house. So she's like, well, what if blah, 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 blah. So she reads us the text message that like, like the text message thread where she found that out. And she's like, well, I don't know for sure that all the guys are spending the night. She just texted me that Jack's having a gangbang. So I don't know if they're all spending the night. I was like, so I just want to make sure that I understand. The question you're asking me is if you can go spend the night at a house where a bunch of 16-year-old boys are having a fucking gangbang.
Gangbang.
I just want to make sure that's what you're asking me. So henceforth, for the rest of her life, anytime she asks for anything that is absurd for her to be asking, the answer will be like, well, yeah, and then you can go to Jack's gangbang right after that.
I just swooped the spot I wanted.
Bitches. Anyway, love you guys. Bye-bye.